Hello, Maria.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us.
Everybody, how are you?
We're doing well.
Is Gabriela going to join us tonight?
No, she said that she's going to be out. So I think she's visiting her mother. So she will be able to join us.
I wanted to ask her about one of her neighbors that is on the hospital. If she knows anything about her. All right.
No, she sent me an email saying that she won't be able to.
Okay.
Yeah, to attend us. So far it's you regarding members. I sent them a text, so I hope that.
Yes, I saw your messages.
Thank you. We usually take like 5 minutes. We borrow 5 minutes from the exact time that we're supposed to start. So I guess that we are accustomed to this. Oh.
Faye,
Yes.
they haven't appointed any new members to our committee yet.
Now that I'm aware of.
I think we're supposed to have new members in April. At the end of.
I believe the process for some reason has been delayed, but we received a letter saying that this past week we're supposed to conclude the process. So I expect that this week probably we should have some answers. Also notice. So Ms. Vasquez is with us. So let's see.
Fred, there is some there is a message on the chat and the question and answer. Could you ask maybe Chanel to find out who that person is? I mean, she doesn't have to share with us, but maybe with you.
And the say again, you say that there is a person on the chat?
Yeah, the Q&A, it says, can we see other attendees in the meeting? So I don't know who wrote that. Maybe Chanel can find out. It doesn't have to tell us who it is, but
it says it's anonymous, so I couldn't tell you.
If it's an anonymous person, but she wants to, or she or he wants to know who the other people are, isn't that it? All right, someone, you know, They removed the question.
Oh. Well, Wendy is with us now. Let's see who else. I'm going to wait 3 more minutes precisely, and then we're going to start. Because I gave everybody, I usually send a,
Plenty of time.
so let's see. Wait a minute, Miss Vasquez. I lost Miss Vasquez, one of the presenters. So she was present, but I don't know, she exited. Let's see if I can get hold of her. Miss Vasquez. So Miriam won't be able to join us. Yeah, we have Miss Vasquez with us now. All right, 1 more minute. 1 more minute. Let's see who else. So Lois is with us. Let's see. Well, I guess a lot of folks have decided to see us on YouTube or Facebook. Chanel,
Yes.
is our meeting being live streamed in YouTube or Facebook or both?
On both.
All right, thank you. All right, 7:05. That's what I was looking for. So, all right, yes, let's call the meeting to order. Good evening, everyone. My name is Faye Florimon, Chair of the Youth and Education Committee. I would like to welcome all and thank you for attending this meeting. I immediately would like to start by asking members of this committee to identify themselves for the record. Only members at this time of this committee. Then I will proceed with the agenda and go over the agenda. So member for the record, please identify yourself.
Okay, I'm Maria Luna, member of the Youth and Services Committee, also the agent, and of course, member of the board.
Thank you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Wendy Peña, a member of the Youth and Education Committee for CB12.
Thank you, Wendy.
Hello, everyone. My name is Luis Cruz. I'm a public member for the Youth and Education Committee.
Thank you, Luis. Let's see who else we have. Any other members? Well, I guess we don't have other members. Okay, we have 3 members present. And I believe Gabriela and Miriam are excused. Awesome writing, excuse. Okay, let's see who else. Jonathan, he said that he will be joining us later on. All right, I meant to say that this meeting was called to order precisely at 7:05 p.m. And this is our meeting number 5 for the year 2022. And today is Monday, May 9. So I would like to welcome our guests. As you can see in our agenda, we have 2 interesting presentations. We have a presentation from the Mayor Office Community Affairs Unit, who's going to be presenting first. They are presenting on the title of Available Community Resources and community partnerships opportunity. Then we are going to have another presentation from representative from the Enman Bowen Community Service Center. A lot more to learn about it. And then we are going to, by the way, they presented under the title of Bowen Children's Services expansion into the community to address the needs of our recent immigrants. More to learn about that. And of course, after each presenter's finished presenting, we all going to have the opportunity to ask them questions. I really hope you ask questions so all of us can learn from those answers. And then we will proceed to the all in new business, in which anyone, including presenters, can have the opportunity to share any upcoming event with the entitled community and members of the community as well. If we have any announcement to make, that would be the face of the agenda that you wanted to do that. And of course, then after that, we are going to adjourn the meeting. I just wanted to remind you that this meeting has been live streamed in YouTube and also in Facebook. So welcome all. So let's call Ms. Valerie Vasquez, who is the Deputy Commissioner of External Affairs, Community Affairs Unit at the Mayor Office of Community Affairs Unit. Deputy Vasquez, the floor is yours. And thank you so much for joining us.
First, I wanted to thank you for the invitation. As you mentioned, I'm Valerie Vasquez. I'm the Deputy Commissioner of External Affairs for the Mayor's Community Affairs Unit. And essentially, CAU, the Community Affairs Unit, we're designed to build this connection between City Hall and the residents of the City of New York and their city government. So to foster the dialogue, we make sure that residents are integrating government into the communities. So working directly with mayoral agencies to make sure that the deployment is effective and that we really are hearing the needs of city residents. And the idea is that we are looking to be very involved. We have borough directors that represent certain parts of the city of New York. They cover community boards, but they are not only engaging with the leaders in the community boards, but they're working with the clergy. They're working obviously with elected officials, as well as good government groups, community-based organizations, very grassroots. And we want to make sure that we are aware of what is happening in the city of New York, not only on a macro level, but on a micro level, where communities feel that they have the ear of the mayor via the Community Affairs Unit. So we're looking to be very accessible. You should have already met who your borough director is. They should be attending your meetings. I'm very happy to attend as well. If you think there's anything of interest that you would like me to participate in, we want to be partners in this sense. We really want you to feel that you can contact us if you're having any issues with other city agencies, or if there's anything that you think that needs to be brought to the attention of the mayor and his administration. So I'm here to listen. I want to be a partner with you. I want you to know that you have a direct line to me at any point if there's any concerns that you have. And I just really thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Deputy Commissioner Vasquez. Thank you so much. I don't know if member may have any questions for you, but basically one of the things that I wanted to share is that having you been appointed to this position, I personally thought that, and I still believe that it's very important that you share, your face, you introduce yourself to the community, and hope that folks that are watching, or viewing this meeting now, they get to know you, what is your role, and hopefully, like for example, the next presenter, if there is any possible opportunity for collaboration. So I want to be able that our committee facilitate, that possibility. Yeah.
And I would love to be kept in the loop on any events that are taking place in your community, anything that you think that you would like participation from the mayor's office. There may be some events that you think are relevant and that you'd like the mayor to attend. So all of those, we want to make sure that you know how to reach me. I'll put my direct information and my contact information into the chat, but feel free to contact me. You know, honestly, as myself, as well as all the members of CAU, are ready around the clock to help any way that we can.
Thank you so much. We're definitely going to take your words as a face value, yes. And we will be reaching out to you in your office, you know, for further, you know, assistance for our community. It's very important that our community get to know, you know, what your office does and how important it is for organization, especially non-for-profit organization like the one that is going to present next to, so to know exactly in which way they can collaborate with you. Yes. So members first. Members, do you have any question for Ms. Vasquez?
Faye,
Yes.
I would like to suggest to Ms. Vasquez to let us know of any other activities happening within other community boards and the youth and education committees of each community board right here in Manhattan. So we are informed of what they're doing and maybe we can join with them in whatever endeavor that they are, you know, they start. I think that she could be a very good link for us to, you know, to participate fully on what the agenda of the mayor is all about. So I think that, you know, she can just let us know also what is happening, you know, countywide, which is Manhattan County. We will, you know, we will appreciate that information.
Thank you, Maria.
Of what other community boards are doing for their youth.
Right. Now, if there is, let's say community board night, 10, 11, 7th, if they have any activities related to youth and education that we should be aware of, because sometimes we just don't, you know, we don't know what the other communities are doing. And if we like to join with them, or they, you know, we also will let them know what is happening within our board, so they can really, you know, we can help each other as far as information and communication is concerned.
Right. I mean, that's perfect. I mean, the idea of collaboration, working together. So I will talk to my colleagues to see, because that cover the rest of the Manhattan, and I'll find out what their committees are doing and circle back with Faye, so you guys know. Okay.
Just in addition to that, our committee is very much committed to help the youth of our community. And the more information that we get of what's happening, that we can, you know, work with, we'll appreciate. Sometimes since we see something after it happens, and maybe if we can, you know, get the information prior, then we can, you know, take steps to cooperate and to work together. So thank you so much.
I don't see the chat option, but what I will do is I will email Faye, and I also have there's a new link where you can sign up to be a part of the CAU newsletter. I will send that to you as well, and if you could encourage your members to do that, because it has all of the upcoming deadlines for things like the summer youth employment or summer rising, all very important dates that would be important to your committee and your community board as a whole.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Let's see who else may have another question. Well, I see Olivia. Wait a minute. Yeah, Olivia has a question. Let's see if we have other members as well. Just give me 1 second. Maria, your hands are still up. Louis has a question. Yes, Louis.
Well, as a part of the youth, I would like to know if the mayor will be interested in supporting the idea of youth and police building bridges, of making better relationship with the police, and the youth and the police making better relationship in our communities.
He knows the importance of community police relationships, and fostering that at a young age is very important. So yes, having our police officers have that commitment to the community that they serve, is specifically the city, the children in the city of New York, I think is something that is in fact very important to him. But if you have any specific ideas, like I said, Fick will have my contact information and you and I can touch base. And I'd be happy to pick your brain in terms of some ideas that you have.
Thank you. And thank you, Luis. Let's see, next, I believe we have, Olivia Metzger, or Metzger?
Hi, good
Yes.
evening. My name's Olivia, and I'm a volunteer as a social justice advocate intern at Growth and Development Services. I want to first thank you guys for giving us the opportunity to share our voices and advocate for the programs that we deeply believe in. Since 1996, GDS has been offering its services to marginalized youth. We've provided the resources and inspiration necessary for those who participate to succeed and gain confidence in themselves. I've been following the work of GDS and have seen how influential this program has been. After being evicted from the Armory, dozens of youth lost their opportunity to receive the much needed mental health resources and ability to further develop the interpersonal connections that are so necessary. Not only does the Armory represent the physical space where GDS can meet, but it represents so much more. The Armory is a backbone and safe haven for the youth who depend on GDS. It provides a space where kids can discover themselves, make new friends, and even create longer-term plans with mentors. There is a huge need for GDS in the community, and in order for it to be successful, it needs a community location back. Can you please help us return to our space in the Armory again?
Olivia, since your comment is not related to what we are presenting right now, first of all, I thank you for the message. But next time that you have an announcement, because that's an announcement, that goes on the new or business section. So I would appreciate next time that you tell us, if you don't have a question related to the present conversation, so yes, specifically say so I can grant you more time so you can go, over whatever you wanted to convey. But we are right now precisely what Ms. Vasquez, has said. Yes, what was the last question that you have, please?
The last question that I had was asking for the Armory to be re-given to GDS as its main location.
That's something that I would have to research, and I'll get back to the community board with some more information. But I'll get background information and report back to the chair.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay, Olivia, thank you. I understand now better. Okay, so let's see who else. Now, folks, listen to this. Only question is what we are taking right now, please, because we have another presentation and we want to make sure that you get to hear about the next presentation. So the next in line will be Michael Haino. Yes, Michael.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi, my first question, I want to welcome Ms. Vasquez Diaz. And I wanted to ask you directly, after hearing the chair's remarks towards the previous speaker, is this only a time that we can ask a question of you, or can we say something that's of concern to us that we want to make you aware of?
No.
I'm speaking to Ms. Vasquez Diaz with all due respect. She's introducing herself to us, and Maria Luna, former chair of this board, said that she looks forward to having communication, and I'm asking if I can bring something to her attention that regards both this committee, this community board, and an issue in our community. And I'm asking her if she would like to hear it now, if you don't mind.
Absolutely not.
No, I absolutely feel free.
Thank you. I grew up in this neighborhood. I've lived in the street where I live now for 28 years. And a few years ago, I became aware of issues involving the Armory that's 2 blocks from my house. And also specifically the organization that was just mentioned, Growth and Development Services, which was serving our neighborhood's youth. And I'm not going to get into the whole armory thing. We are supposed to be having a public hearing on that according to a resolution that was passed by this full community board last May, 12 months ago. Interestingly, there have been no movements on that. Also, I wanted you to know, and we have all the documentation of this, that 7.5 years ago, in October of 2014, at this very committee's meeting, and it was chaired by Ms. Florimon, there was a unanimous resolution passed that called for Community Board 12 to look into what's going on at the Armory, which organizations are working out of there and this and that. And at the end of that committee meeting, Ms. Florimon, excuse me.
No, excuse me.
Excuse me,
Excuse me. No, you excuse me.
No, you're not going to.
Take care of this, please, for me. Thank you. Okay, I'm sorry about this interruption. All right, so we only are accepting questions, not accepting comments. Any comments that you have or story that you want to share with Ms. Vasquez Diaz, please, she put her contact information and you can contact her directly. We do have another presentation. Now, we do have another person that has another question. If you have question, I would allow you. We don't want comments because we have another presentation. The next person that I would like to allow is David Allen, please, if you have a question, and then proceed by Dr. Gary Alfing. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you very much for having me. And Ms. Vasquez Diaz, it's a refreshing sign to see your face and hear your voice. I have a question, and I don't want to put anybody on the spot, but Ms. Vasquez Diaz, in this conversation that you're hearing, do you notice a theme that's something that makes you raise your eyebrow to the behavior of the woman running this meeting, that she wants to block people from speaking? And does that raise your eyebrow to any degree? That's all I want to ask. That's my question.
Well,
I can only say that I am grateful for the opportunity that I was invited here today. I can't see, I don't have access, I can't enable the chat, but I will just read out my my email address and you can contact me directly. My email address is VAZQUEZ, so VA Vasquez at cityhall.nyc.gov. And anyone that wants to reach me, you can contact me directly. But I do thank Faye for inviting me to this forum now.
all right, thank you. Well, one thing that I wanted to say is about the perception that unfortunately you have witnessed. I have personally nothing against no one, but if you are going to think that you can use this platform for negative rhetoric, this is not the place. Ms. Vasquez is here to be introduced to the community, bring whatever resources she can share with us. That's the only thing. If you have complained or you have a history, a misunderstanding with the Armory or whatever, that's on you, but this is not a platform for that. I respectfully need to continue this meeting and conduct things the way this should be. So I'm truly sorry that, you know, you guys are behaving in this way. So I cannot entertain this. So Deputy Commissioner Vasquez, I want to thank you for your presentation. I believe our members have already asked questions, and I would like to proceed with the next presentation. And I highly encourage, if you have the time, so you can kindly stay around and stick around. So I
absolutely will be. I'll stay.
We're about to learn.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. All right. So let's proceed with our next presentation from representative from the Enma Bowell Community Centers. We have Michael Saraski. He is the Director of Child and Adolescent Services We also have Ms. Elizabeth Hazen. She's the Assistant Director of Child and Adolescent Services as well. And I believe there are other members also from the center that are accompanied then. Let me see if I can also see their names so I can properly, let's see here, give me just 1 second. Let's see. We have, I believe we have Jill Little, yeah, Jim Little. Yes, sir. We have also, let's see who else we have. Well, if I, for some reason, not seeing other names of representative from the Emma Bowen Center, if I'm not pronouncing the names or whatever, apologies, but I just wanted you to know that I welcome all of you, and I deeply thank you for taking the time and bringing this announcement and every information that you may want to share with our community. So welcome, and the floor is yours.
Thank you, Faye. Much appreciated. We're just going to put up PowerPoint and then we'll start.
Yes, I think it's hard for us to do it because we are not allowed to share anything. Ms. Florimon, is that possible to allow us to share?
Yes, of course.
You should be able to now.
Thank you, Chanel.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much. My name is Michael Zaretsky. I'm the Director of Child and Adolescent Services at the Emma L. Bowen Center. We're going to give a brief presentation this evening about our services and some of the work that we are trying to implement in the community. I'd like to introduce my co-director or assistant director, Elizabeth Hansen, who's going to tell you a little bit about our program and the services we provide and some of the work that we're doing.
Thank you so much. As many of you may know, Emma L. Bowen Community Service Center has been around for a long time and providing services to our community since 1968. Before I talk about our child clinic, I just want to tell you a little bit about all the services that we provide. We have a therapeutic nursery school. We have a food pantry, Able House, which is 20-bed community resident for persons in recovery. We have Rainbow Club, which is a program for people with chronic mental illness. We have case management services, addiction treatment services, the adult mental health clinic, and then the children and adolescent services. The Emma L. Bowen's Children and Adolescent Services is a mental health clinic. We provide therapy and psychiatric services to children 5 to 21. We have highly skilled licensed staff providing both in-person and telehealth services. We provide family therapy, play therapy, and of course, individual therapy. A little bit about the population that we serve. 78% of our clients identify as Hispanic or of Hispanic origin. And also, as you can see on the chart to the right there, the rest of the population that we serve are 17% Black or African American, and then a small percentage of the other ethnicities. Last year, we provided services to 138 children who live in the district, and more from that district over the last few weeks we see. So the problem is that over the past year, we've been experiencing really an accelerated rate of children who are telling us that they're anxious. And of course, they're worried about everything connected to the pandemic. they are scared, and also lately we hear from them that they're really feeling unsafe due to increased crime in the community as well. And most of these clients are either self-referrals or referred from ACS, but we suspect that there are so many more children that really need, could use mental health services in the community, and that they don't get help. And children with anxiety, they often withdraw and they isolate. They stop with regular activities and they get more quiet. But the problem is that these days that's normal in a way. And you know, we think that maybe many of these children will not be captured. And if they don't get help, it can really affect them profoundly in their daily functioning. And there's a real concern that we will see these cases in a few years with much harder to treat mental health problems that will, of course, will affect the families in years to come. And we want to be more accessible and help more children.
ML Bowen's solution to the problem. Number one, we will identify schools and medical clinics where there's a lack of mental health resources. Many of our schools don't have the adequate services available to help these children who are struggling, particularly during the pandemic. And number two, ML Bowen will provide staff to go into the schools and clinics for mental health screenings and treatment. Our mental health clinics in the schools are very limited, and we are hoping to be able to expand our services to assist, screen, and get into those programs where these services are needed and where the children are every day.
So ML Bowen, we have the expertise to address these problems. We have staff that are licensed therapists and psychiatric providers. They all have specialized knowledge and experience in treating children. And we also provide, as mentioned earlier, play therapy for our younger clients. We know that children and families of immigrant background specifically need extra support, and our staff, who is coming from a variety of cultural backgrounds, have a lot of experience in providing services to families with multicultural backgrounds, and they are really sensitive to the needs of the recent immigrants to our community. They both have the language skills and the background to be able to serve these families. And in fact, 65% of our therapists speak Spanish and are bicultural, and 75% of our psychiatric providers speak Spanish.
Our goal, number one, is to provide easily accessible mental health services to children in schools and clinics where it is most needed in the community. We want to be, again, where the children are. Number two is to break down the isolation for children and their families caused by the pandemic. Children have been locked inside their homes for several years now, just starting to come out. They're scared, they're nervous, they need help socializing, they need help adjusting to all these changes that have been put upon them. And number three, establish ourselves as the principal mental health provider for recent immigrants in our community. We are here in the community. We are the perfect agency to provide those services, and we're ready to move forward. So we are ready. We are ready to provide our services to the local community by establishing on-site clinical services in schools in the district for mental health screenings and to set up treatment services. We have begun to contact schools and clinics to assess their needs and to see what their recommendations are to reach these children and families. In summary, ML Bowen has a children's mental health clinic with expertise that serves the local community. We will be able to provide mental health services to every school in the community, and we are staffed to meet the demand. We would like the committee's assistance in contacting schools in the community where you see the greatest needs. Any advice, recommendations, or support that you can provide us would be greatly appreciated in this meeting and in the future.
So thank you. And here's our contact information. If you have any further questions about our programs, and if you have any referrals to our child clinic, then you can contact Alexandra Pagani at the intake department. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you. Very helpful. Very helpful. Members, we always allow members to ask questions first, and then, you know, the public. So members, do you have any question? Okay, Wendy. Yes, Wendy.
Hi, good evening. My apologies for not being on camera. My camera's not working. Thank you for this great presentation. I do work with youth in the community. I just have two questions. First being, do you have an actual physical location for these services you want to provide to the children of CD12, or are you just more looking to go directly into school buildings and provide those services there?
Sure. Elizabeth, do you want to take that question?
So there's two parts to that. First of all, we do have, of course, the physical location at the Upper Manhattan Mental Health Clinic on Amsterdam Avenue at the Emma L. Bowen Community Service Center. When it comes to the expansion of the program, we will go out to schools, and Michael, maybe you can say a little more about that part of it.
Sure. So the plan is to try to address these growing needs of the children and families that we see all around us. As I'm sure all of you are aware, the pandemic has had a real influence on the mental health, well-being of our children and families. They need a lot of support, more than is currently available. So we're trying to meet that need. So in addition to having a physical clinic where we see children, we also provide telemental health services to assist in families accessing our services who maybe can't get to us or are not yet comfortable traveling. But what we're trying to do right now is we're trying to reach out to the schools, medical clinics, pediatric clinics, and to offer screening to take place in those locations, to, if we are allowed, to provide services in those locations. And one of the things that we're asking for from the board is to help identify those schools, those clinics, those neighborhoods that have the greatest need and perhaps lack the services that we want to provide to them, so that we can move in and provide that additional support.
Okay. Let's see who else. Thank you. I think Louis has a question. Louis, you have a question?
Yes,
Please.
I have two questions. Is there any age limit, and what are the requirements? I mean, how's the application process, and if there are any requirements for kids who might need mental health services, especially with this program?
Sure. So for the general children's mental health clinic, we see children from the ages of 5 to 21. Anyone can call to schedule a intake appointment. In addition, we have a therapeutic preschool that works with children from 3 to 5. They do need to have an IEP to get into that program, but there is space, there are openings, and it is not difficult to get into their program. You do need to work with the Committee for Special Ed to do that. If you have clients who are older, parents of those children, other adults in the community who need services, we have a variety of adult services also available. I think Elizabeth mentioned that earlier in the program.
Okay.
So that includes our adult mental health clinic and our adult chemical dependency program. And actually our chemical dependency program also works with children from 12 to 18 who might have addiction or are at risk for substance abuse.
Wonderful. All right. Anybody else? Maria, I think you have your hands.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, my question is, how many therapists do you have available right now? And when you said that you are willing to expand, or are you willing to work with other groups that are out there trying to provide the same services? Is there any opportunity for them to work with you?
Absolutely. Elizabeth, you want to take the first part of that question?
Yeah, so we have 17 therapists right now. And those are, some of them are full-time, but it's about 11 therapists full-time. The rest are either part-time or fee-for-service. And then we have 4 psychiatric providers.
Thank you.
And we're also expanding. Elizabeth has been actively interviewing candidates, so we hope to be bringing on a few more candidates over the next couple of months. As early as last week, we started a new therapist, a very experienced gentleman. And in a couple of weeks, we have more staff who will be joining us. In terms of, Maria, can you repeat the second part of your question? I'm just.
Well, I just want to make sure that we hear in our committee some questions about this same type of services. I was wondering if you would be willing to maybe work with some of those groups that are out there willing to work, and that they probably look for a space unless they are not certified by the state or the city of New York. I mean, I want to make sure that the people who are providing mental services are really able and prepared and certified to provide services, and not people that goes around saying that they are, you know, certified, and just to make sure that we are providing, you know, good services to our community.
Sure. So, you know, some of you may have known M.L. Bowen, who was, I think, a member of this community
I knew
board.
her.
Okay, and although I never met her, after being at the Bowen Center for 6.5 years, I feel like I know her. So clearly she was a beautiful person, and I think the center continues to follow her mission in providing services to community and quality services. So that includes the assurance that all of our therapists are licensed. The program is approved and licensed by the state of New York Office of Mental Health. So we provide those services. We do work closely with many agencies. There are services we can provide and services that we work with agencies in the community for them to provide. It could be little things, which can be really big things, like the Boys and Girls Club or Police Athletic League, as well as a variety of preventive agencies, supportive services, mobile crisis team, and other services here in the community that are available and accessible to members of the community. We are collaborating with them. We have discussed the possibility of opening up satellite sites that could include actually in public schools. We're willing to place staff in pediatric clinics that maybe don't have social services available, so that we can screen clients there and provide the services. And because our services can be provided remotely via telemental health services, telemental health technology, which is a new thing over the last few years, that has allowed us to go into people's homes. Just like some of you are in this meeting from your home, we can have sessions just like that with families, and we do that every day.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, let's see if we have any other members. I don't see no other hands. Okay, before we turn to the public, I do have a few questions. Let's see. One of the things that captivated my attention is that you provide assistance with addiction and addiction treatment. And that's something that many times goes silent for many reasons. People decide not to speak about probably that challenge that many are, facing, or members of the family. But I would like to know what specifically is the kind of addiction that you treat in your center?
Sure. So I'm going to speak from my knowledge. I am not a member of that particular team, but we do collaborate and work very closely together. So first, as I mentioned, the program starts at 12 years old. And we do see addiction sometimes beginning as young as 12 and sometimes even younger. In the children's clinic, we screen for substance abuse through our intake interviews, and as therapy progresses, we can send children for testing if need be. Our adolescent treatment program provides a great deal of group therapy. They can, again, screen for substances. They can provide medication-assisted treatment if needed. Those are medications that can be used to help prevent abuse of substances. And a great deal of education, particularly for the adolescents and the adults. The adult program has services available 7 days a week, even Sundays. They have groups and programs available. It really is a wonderful program. They are also in the process of expanding their services. They are in the process of opening a satellite, I believe, in the Bronx. I don't recall the exact address or location, but those services are readily available to the community. All you have to do is call to begin the application process. For a parent who has a child they're concerned about, same thing, they can call. And in fact, they can receive services in both our mental health programs as well as the substance abuse program. So many persons with addictive disorders also suffer from mental illness and can receive both services.
Yeah, but Mrs. Zuraski, thank you for your elaborated response. But my direct question is specifically, like, for example, type of addiction will be addiction to food, addiction to marijuana.
Sure. Okay.
Michael.
Sure.
Ms. Loriman, if I could answer that, I'm Jim Little. I'm with Upper Manhattan. There's an adolescent component to the addiction treatment, and they mostly are what the folks who come in are using marijuana and alcohol and a little bit of opioids. For the adults, it's alcohol and opioids and PCP.
That's very helpful. Yes, that's exactly what I really wanted to.
Sure.
Because you may have people that may approach me, Faye, do you know this and that? So sure. I know exactly how I'm going to to respond. Another question is that you mentioned that you would like for us to identify the needs related to the service that you are providing. Sometimes it's hard to pinpoint where those needs are actually present. And I wanted to volunteer a suggestion. If the board, if you can share with our board, for example, a flyer that concentrates precisely on those services that you provide, not a history of your organization, because that would be, but just straight to the point what you offer. If you can come up with a flyer like that, and we can blast the community and your intention for searching for even schools that are in need of providing the services that you have available and you're willing to work with, I think that would be very helpful, definitely. If you put something together, I can promise you that I will make it happen. But I will need something very direct.
Sure.
Exactly what you need.
Sure.
And it's like bringing together your need to satisfy what other organization, including a school, needs are present. So we can marriage both.
Absolutely. And that's a wonderful idea. In fact, my office manager is currently working with me on developing something quite similar. So we can focus it in, as per your recommendation, something very specific, very direct that you can, and we greatly appreciate your support in sending out an e-blast to the community. That would be wonderful for us.
And these are the kind of communication that we can distribute it any event, or table it to any organization event that they may have, any games, because there is a lot of, like basketball games and things like that. So if someone takes, for example, even in churches, you can bring that particular flyers, because a lot of people go to church as an escape, besides their religious belief, of course, which I highly respect that. But in there, if you are allowed to bring those kind of resources to the church, I'm pretty sure that somebody is going to ring the bell for them, and you can make that difference that you're looking to make in the life of many folks.
Thank you. Those are great ideas. That would be very helpful. Perhaps we can even send a friendly visitor, so to speak, to visit these locations, these events. If you let us know where you'd like us to appear,
Sure.
we'd be glad to set up a little table where we can just be available to answer questions and provide information.
All right. One very last question that I have is, it's a combination of, I know you are stationed in Harlem. That's where your organization gave birth. But you also in our community in Washington Heights. So I just wondered, the biggest population that is being returned by your organization as we're speaking, is that folks from Harlem or folks from Washington Heights and Inwood?
Elizabeth?
Did we run a zip code where most of them are from? I forgot.
I think most of them are from Northern Manhattan. Majority of our clients are from Northern Manhattan, the whole region. I believe from the charts that Elizabeth was going over, approximately 78% of our clients are Latina. And I think Elizabeth also shared that approximately 65% of our staff are Spanish speaking, as well as bicultural. We have a very diverse staff from all different parts of the Caribbean and Central and South America. So if you come into the center and you're Cuban and you want to see a Cuban therapist, we might be able to provide someone to work with you. If you're Dominican, we have several Dominican therapists. If you're Puerto Rican, we have several Puerto Rican therapists. And that way the staff can be paired with the clients and their particular cultural backgrounds. We recognize that that persons who speak Spanish are not all the same, and that different cultures, different ethnicities extend throughout North and South America.
That's very, that's very good. It's comfort to me to know that all these resources are available to people, because when it comes to interacting with folks, especially when it comes to sharing so personal information that many folks are experiencing, let's call it a private hell. So they want to make sure that the person that they are going to share that private hell is something that they feel comfortable with. That plays, it's a huge, huge difference. Well, my very last, not question, but suggestion. I think that it would be a great idea if you can present in the District 6, which is the Community Education Council. I'm going to try to put you in contact with them, because this is the where the superintendent office is sitting.
Yeah.
And he is, have you, by the way, spoke to his office or with him directly?
Not as of yet, no. But thank you, that's a great idea. And any information or contacts you can provide us would be greatly appreciated.
I would highly encourage you that you contact his office. I can definitely put in contact with him, being that his office is the one that work with the entitled school districts from 137 up to 218, west, east, south, and north, the 4 cardinal points. So it would be very helpful if he can bring on board your information. So where you're going to find a school, you'll be surprised. You may find your, how you call, a treasure in your backyard by, contacting him. And I would be very pleased if that happened, because I'm sure that as a result of that, there is a lot of parents and kids that you will be able to help and bail them out of this private health that many of them are living.
Right.
So let's move then to the public to see who has any questions. On my end, on behalf of my committee, I really want to thank you so much for answering all our questions and for sharing this important information. So let's see who else it's online that may have questions. Let's see. Well, there is someone, but then I don't know. All I see is B-O-O, Boo. Oh, I don't know.
Hi, thank you so much. My name is Isbu Bawafo, and I live in the community. Sorry, I'm just trying to mute my computer. There we go. And I appreciate the presentation. And the neighborhood needs this so much. And I'm actually a volunteer with Growth and Development Services. And we align with this practice in a social way where we provide community for the youth. And so there's a lot of alignment there, because the leader, he's a clinical psychologist, and we run the after school programs and the summer programs with the summer youth programs. And so this would be a perfect synergy if we can find alignment here and share space, or, share the work together. I think there's a definite alignment there. I'm the yoga teacher for GDS, and I see the difference just in a 6-week program of what giving these youth the right to understand what health is and what loving themselves is, because no one tells them this and no one gives them permission to do that. And when they realize that they're able to, it's life-changing for them. And sometimes it helps turn around their mental state when they hear it from an outside source. So it comes in many angles, and I love what you're doing. And GDS is in the community; they have the relationships, so I think it's awesome. And so hopefully we can be in touch with you and find some alignment.
So I do have a question for you.
Yes.
How do you pronounce your name? Is Boo?
Yes, my first name is Boo, and my last name is Bawafo. Yes.
Well,
and I live in the community.
Wonderful. Well, I want to thank you, for your remarks. Definitely. Yes.
Yes. And, thank you so much.
And definitely, that's exactly our goal. So bring the information so people can make good use to benefits our community. So I want to thank you so much again.
Yes, thank you. We'll be in touch with Michael's team.
All right. All right, let's see. Anybody else? Let's see who else. Well, I guess it's not. Well, I think we had 2 wonderful presentations. And with that in mind, I just wanted to thank you both very much. And at this point, I don't know if you have a final comment for us before we proceed to on the next phase of the agenda. Any final comment?
No, I just want to thank you, and I hopefully look forward to attending future meetings. Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you as well. So I just wanted to say one very last thing is that I just hope that you will keep in contact. You interchange your contact information. You can always go to either Facebook or YouTube to view this conversation again and take note that perhaps you were not able to take it while we having this conversation. Now I wanted to proceed on the next phase of the agenda, which is, give me just 1 second. We're gonna go to the all in new business on the agenda. So do you have any further comments? No? Okay. All right. So thank you again for your presentation. So folks, I just wanted to report that there is going to be an event, Know Your Rights. It's a panel discussion that has to do with immigration, and that's going to be on May 19 at the Annunciation Church. This is going to be on Thursday from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. They're going to discuss any possible new legislation that might be in the way. And also they're going to be sharing available resources or organizations that are offering immigration services free of cost. And if you have questions in terms of immigration, citizenship, petitions, that would be a great opportunity to meet with those attorneys that are going to be present, and those organizations that are going to be sharing the resources. So, and I also wanted to, besides this announcement, members, I wanted to also say that there is a possibility that we would have a concert, a guitar concert. That's going to be a show for the seniors, as you probably, some of you already remember. At Isabella, we used to put together a show for the seniors to entertain youth, young people entertaining the senior. This is basically an interrelational. The word doesn't come to me right now anyway. But this is actually the idea, to bring young people and the seniors, together. So in a way in which young people is going to be entertaining the seniors. So on June 19, which is a Sunday, if I'm not mistaken, we're going to be at the Y. It's still for pending confirmation, of the venue, but I understand that it's a great, probably 90%, as we presented at the aging committee. So this concert is going to be held at the White on June 19th from 1 to 4 p.m. But the event actually is going to start at 2 p.m. We're just going to give an hour so the musician and everybody get situated and for the setting. So, but you're welcome to attend. This is basically mostly for senior. So I don't know if anybody else may have any announcement. So, but basically this is what I wanted to share with you. So anybody else has any announcement? I hear no announcement. Let me see, somebody has the any announcement? Nope, nobody else? All right, so it's 8:05. Any other question, by the way? Well, I see someone that raised his hand, David Allen. David, if you have a questions, which I hope, I definitely would like for you to ask that question.
I just wanted to say the term you were looking for is intergenerational.
Intergenerational, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Yes. All right, so I guess Maria, Jonathan, actually, maybe you want to say that you're present for the record, so we can get that recording. Jonathan, you want to identify yourself? I guess it's just the picture. All right, folks, presenters, guests, participants, thank you very much. We're going to adjourn our meeting at 8:05 p.m. Thank you so very much. You know how to contact me if you need any assistance. If you want to present in this committee, any message, any announcement, we always are here to help you and to actually allow that you use the venue to bring any notice or any information that you think that it's important for the community. It's all the way available to you. So I call for the motion to adjourn the meeting at 8:05. May I have a second?
Second.
Maria seconded. Thank you very much. Okay. Goodbye now.